Our next speaker will speak about inspiration. We did it, and so can you. Lars Åkerlund. And when I heard that Lars was going to speak today, I have never met him. I'm looking forward to him coming up now and coming in. And is that about 3 years ago, my dentist is on 58th Street, Lars. And before I got to the dentist, I needed a cup of coffee, so I went into this little place called FIKA and had a cup of coffee and a Danish, and met the woman, and I said, "Where are you from?" And she says, "Well, we're Swedish." And I said, "Oh, okay, great," and went to the dentist and didn't think much of it. And then 2 months ago, when I was asked to do this, or 3 months ago, said you were going to be coming. And I said, "This is great. What is he going to talk about?" "Well, he's doing 20 new restaurants or 20 new places here in New York, but also that you build them all." And so I'm really impressed with that, and I'm looking forward to going to each one of them. So you'll just give me a list, and I'll just hopscotch over and get caffeine up the wazoo. So, Lars, thank you for coming. And I think what's really important is that innovation comes in lots of different ways. We've heard a lot about technology today, and now we're going to hear a little bit more about brick and mortar. So, Lars, thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come on. No, yeah. This is fancy. Thanks. Nice presentation. Everybody has such a nice slideshow, so I have no idea how this works. My name is Lars, and 1 week ago, 1st of October, we have our 8-year anniversary for FIKA, so it was 8 years ago. And it's been up and down. It's take a lot of energy. I'm actually 18 years old, so look at me now. I started to dream about this, open up abroad, when I went to chef school in 1989 and saw Tom Cruise in Cocktail. And that was exactly what I want to do. So I've been visiting, I think, 38 or 39 different islands in the Caribbean, and it's very fun to be there for about 2 days, and then it sucks. So 2001, I came to New York, visit a relative, and for me, it was my nirvana. I fell in love completely, and the coffee sucks. So I thought, this is where I'm going to be spending the rest of my life. One small problem, I checked on my account, and it was about $85 in there, so okay, I have some work to do. So I spent about 5 years at home, building, selling apartments, save up money, and then I came to New York, and I'm very stubborn, so I start to see where we're going to start the first location. So I start to read through ads after ads after ads that add up to about 34,000 ads. I called on 289 stores. I put control on each and every store I was calling. I went and visited 97 stores. And when I came in here, I had no visa. I was here on tourist visa. They actually kept me in the border because I was the 11th time the same year. So of course they thought I was working here. And this 97 store I visit, I said yes to about half of it. But I have nothing to show for, no financial history, not even a visa. I didn't even have an apartment here, so that was a big challenge. And I nailed the 98th one. That was the store on 58th Street. It's a very exclusive building where they have all these fancy movie stars, and Lady Gaga is a big customer to us. She lives in the building. So they take me up to the conference room, and I was so done. This was the month 7. I've been looking through all these ads. And she asked me, I never forget this, the landlord, the owner of the building, that I have said no to everyone that applied for this store because it's such an exclusive building. Why should I say yes to you? And I answer her by saying, I want to ask you instead, why should I say yes to your store? Well, I think you can live up to my standard that I have for FIKA. And then when she get upset and said, do you know who lives in the building? I know, I won the battle. So she called me the day after, and we opened up this. This is my partner, David. I wouldn't be here without him. He moved back to a new venture in Sweden 2 years ago. Actually worked for IKEA. So look at me, such a handsome guy. And we start to build the first store on 58th Street. This is what I look like. And here's about 2 weeks. It was Pontus, I think you took this picture 8.5 years ago. And when we opened up, we had $247 left on a Tuesday afternoon. That was the total for me personal and the company's account. So we couldn't wait until Wednesday morning. So I took out $240 on the ATM. We bought milk for us, and we opened up on this Tuesday afternoon. We worked about 17 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it took about 1 year and 10 months to save up everything income we had, and it was enough to open up the second store on Park Avenue. And we started over again, and this is the result. That store turned into 66 Pearl Street. I'm going to try to make this short. Maybe it's too late for that now. So we opened up on 66 Pearl Street because we need a bigger bakery, need a chocolate kitchen, because suddenly we started to sell chocolate to Whole Foods and Dean and DeLuca and so on. So we opened up the 66 Pearl Street store and 23rd Street, and finally my dream. My dream from the very get-go was that I want to have 5 stores and a chocolate factory. Why? Why not? 5 stores, for me, it was a chain. And the second dream was to have this account with Whole Foods and Dean and DeLuca, and I always want to have a chocolate factory. That sounds so cool to have it. So before I open, I start to wed people as well, because I had nothing else to do. So if some lovebirds in here, I can actually wed you legally. There's something about a shepherd dog, and Hans Scheike is a famous guy in Sweden. So the 5th store, all organically, is about 5.5, 6 years into our first store open, and we have took out, during all this year, we took out the minimum salary we can possibly live on, and it was so important about these 5 stores, because we know I have bigger plan for FIKA. Is maybe talk to an investor or somebody to invest some more money in it. And we have nothing to show for if we just have 1 or 2 stores. But with 5 store chocolate factory, it's a chain. Oh my God. So we started to build up the Tribeca store, and 2 weeks before it looks this beautiful, Sandy happens. And we was about 1 week from the biggest chocolate show in New York to open up, so we have about 10,000 truffle chocolate bars, all our bookkeeping for 6 years in the basement. And when Sandy hit, it blew our store on Pearl Street away from planet Earth. Our 2 stores on Park Avenue, gone because of electricity. Tribeca store, we had water line. You can still see it today. It's about 4 feet up here. So everything you see was built in here. We built it twice. I was quite calm the day after when it happened, because we pay so much money for insurance. 2 days after, we find out that I was covered for flooding, but not if the flooding come from the ocean. which make perfectly sense for me. So now we have almost 5 stores and only 1 open, and we have employees that have families, they have rent, they have utility bills to pay. So my first concern was to every single cash we had was go for the employees, for the salary. Every vendor we just call up, shit hit the fan, and you can stay with us and help us through this, or just walk away. Everyone stayed with us, and I start to pay the electrical bill, everything on American Express. They called me after 1.5 months because during this time we applied for emergency loan from SBA. American Express called us down and say, you have spent $158,000, so can we please have something back? Ain't gonna happen. So until we have the SBA loan. When we, I'll just show a little bit from the bakery here. This slide has, here we are. So this was the asthmatic, I must just throw in here, where we were standing, me, my wife, Håkan, and everybody else that pitched in and working, we have these asthmatic uniforms, and people actually knocked on the door and asked if we were open. We did, no, it's true. So the garbage company, when they sent the bill, we had 1,300 garbage bags, and it took about 6 months to open it up. And everybody who worked with us pitched in to help us come up, because I was feeling that I was so close to my dream, have these 5 freaking stores that I would, from the get-go, and 2 weeks before I have it, everything was destroyed. 2 months later, the loan came through, and you see the result. Everybody looks so happy in here. And then, when we have this 5-store open, it was time to have talk with a new partner, probably investors. So we had a few. And in New York, the good thing about New York is there are a bunch of investors. When they see good company that have growth like we had, well, small growth, they're interested. But for us, it was more important not only the money, but who was the best strategic partner. Because the big institution, they just want to see the numbers in the end of the months. I want to have a strategic partner that really want to continue our growth. And we find it. A private person, Ben and his wife, Michaela, and they were a big fan of FIKA, and they jump in. And we have planned to grow this company together. So what happened today is we are the fastest growing coffee chain in New York history. We opened up 11 stores in 10 months. And 1 month ago, we become the largest private loan coffee chain. So it's a big difference from 1.5 years when Sandy hit and until now. Next year, we're gonna open up the most attractive retail store, if I want to brag. It's not my word, but they say it. It's in World Trade Center, because they only have 1 corner store in the ground level. And this is the only one with our own outdoor seating overlooking Memorial Place. And it was 320 different vendors that applied for this store. Everything from 3-star Michelin restaurant, Starbucks, of course, and everybody that have something with food to do. And they chose us. And this is the rendering for it. Another aspect that we start to build on is our own wholesale, which is very important. I mentioned that before with Whole Food, Dean and DeLuca. We sell to Gansford, we sell to Maidstone in Hamptons. And next year in February, we go nationwide in the whole US with both Whole Food and Dean and DeLuca. The other aspect we build on is our catering. In 2 weeks, we open up our new headquarters and event space. We took a whole building on 10th Avenue where we're going to we can host events because it's such a big business, especially in New York. So what happened today is that we have to close a store earlier, or we can only carry an event after closing time. And June, July next year, we're going to go to Boston, Philadelphia, Washington, Miami, and Chicago, and one in Las Vegas. Why? Why not? We're working together very close with Gansworth. Somehow they like what the shit we used to produce, so they want to have us in their first boutique hotel they're going to open up on the Strip. And that's about it. There's nothing more to it. Oh, shit.
So thank you, Lars. That's great. Why did they choose you for the World Trade Center? It's about 4 blocks from where I live. Your Washington store, when it opened, was there too. So why? I'm just curious. What do you think? Why do you think?
It's a very important question because they ask the same thing, and everybody go out and says that we have the best this, we have the best that. Even when we have bad economy, when we have the cash was down to -0 and everything, we never, ever touch the quality. We have won the World Championship when it comes to chocolate twice. We have won the North American Championship, the only one that won all categories at the same time. Every piece of bread or cookie has to be baked by hand. We want to bring the Swedish quality and the tradition into New York and be a face of what we can produce and do in Sweden. And I think they appreciate the quality we go through. You can take what else is very important for us is what we can contribute to the local economy. 2 years after we opened up 2006, when recession hit, our biggest customer was from Bank of America, and we see so many people lose their job, and we was thinking, what can we do to make small changes? We have only one store, so who gives a shit what we was thinking. But we started already then that every vendor we used, we custom make our beautiful paper cups, our beautiful chocolate boxes, and we call them up. If they don't produce it in the US or preferably in nearby, we will stop buying from you. So today we use about 7,000 custom printed cups that are made here in Massachusetts. But we take it to the next step and ask where the ink you printed on, where is that made? The paper mass, is that come from US or you buy it abroad? It's insane to buy 400,000 custom designed chocolate boxes, not from Asia or Mexico or something, but we refuse. It's hand printed here in Long Island. And every coffee bean, when we select the coffee, we use thousands of ton coffee. We talk to the farmers from Brazil, Colombia. We make sure they have decent paid. They come over here and do it as environmental friendly as possible. The coffee bags, it's almost impossible to have bags that are recyclable when you have coffee in it because it's food, it's degraded down to nothing. But we find an American company that made it. So it's very, very important for us. So when somebody asks, why are you 30 cents more expensive on the coffee than Starbucks? I said, thank you. This is why. And they pay $10 more for it. So I think this has been the key to our success. Of course, the employees, everything. I'm just a big, louded mouth. But we have never bounced an inch from the quality. So that's why they took us.
Well, thank you, Lars.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.